Okay, so just a few notes to do with the Origins update. So first off, a few items have been made obsolete. So that includes the 6 different things that you could find for upgrading, building new blueprints. Sorry, that you can find from your shops, your metal fingers, your what they're called, curious deposits and stuff like that. They've been removed from the game, along with the 4 other upgrade thingies that you could buy. So all of these 10 items have been replaced with these 5 items at the bottom. So amino chamber, hydraulic wiring, magnetic resonator, quantum computer and solar mirror. So it's those 5 things now that are used for the various different blueprints that used to use all of these things. You can still sell them, you will still have them in your game and you can sell them, but you can't do anything else with them. You can't refine them, you can't use them in blueprints, nothing like that. So it's literally just a case of if you've got them, sell them. You shouldn't be able to get them anymore. They were at first left in some of the loot tables, like the frigate expeditions, but they've now been removed with 302. There's also the advanced ion battery that's been removed, and the ion battery is now just does what the advanced did. And same with the oxygen capsules. Now the life support module is the only one there, not the oxygen capsules. So they're all gone. Yeah, so we've got a fair few new items which we'll go into in a minute. Including some basalt. That's a new material, a new resource that you can get from volcanic planets, particularly. At the moment, it doesn't actually have any use. There's speculation that they might change the incinerators from projectile ammunition to basalt instead when they put it in properly. At manufacturing facilities, there's now an option to create a multi-tool expansion slot. It will give you an item that you can then take to the space station multi-tool specialist, who now has a little computer just outside them which you can use to add slots to your multi-tool and to level your multi-tool up in in class. Okay, suspicious modules. You can buy these from NPCs that randomly land on planetary terrain while you're out and about. You can also buy them from the scrap dealer on the space station. So they're randomised upgrades, taking stats from other upgrades. The stats seem to be within the ranges of the existing C to S class upgrades, but can include different combinations of them. Hazard protection ones offer stats for all 4 types of hazard in each upgrade, and the hazard protection ones do not count towards the rule of 3 upgrades maximum. They're their own thing. All of the rest of them, however, do count. So if you've got 3 S class upgrades and you try to install an X, it's going to make them all temporarily break until you get rid of one. If I go into here, you'll see that the X class, I've added to the wiki the X class stats, and you'll see that they tend to exceed, at best, they exceed the best S class ones. If I go over to the Starship ones, you see a similar pattern. You know, they're basically the next class up from S class at their best, but at their worst, they're the worst the C class can get, and in some cases they're actually smaller, like in the deflector shield here, that it can get worse than a C class, than the worst C class. So there's also the multi-tool ones. You can get some pretty impressive scanner ones, and again all the rest is basically the next step up. So however much the maximum amount jumps between A grade and S grade, it jumps about the same between S grade and X class. So X class are typically the best ones, however they're very, very unreliable, so you will end up quite more often than not with a rubbish one, and with less of the stats that it can have. Like you might have an S-class will almost always show, say, all 4 stats if it's a particular one that offers 4 stats, whereas a C-class will only ever really give you 1 or 2. The X-class ones could give you 1, 2, 3 or 4 regardless of what the actual stats they're offering are. So it could say, for example, Flora scanned, and it could have 11,000, so the best possible outcome, but it might not actually have Flora scanned and scan radius in there at all. So as you can see, it's 1 to 3, where S-class would always be 3. It would be all 3 of them. So yeah, they are very hit and miss. You have to get very, very lucky with them to have one that's actually useful, but when you do, they're very, very useful. I've done a video on the archive stuff. You can dig up planetary flora and fauna information from these items. Did I already have one of them up? Yeah, so species record, fauna, flora and mineral. You can also dig up organic matter, these technology components, and if I go back a little, the glowing minerals. And basically these will become these things. Okay, so when you basically when you what's the word I'm looking for? Not when you break them down, when you interact with them or whatever in your inventory, they become all these things. So your glowing minerals can become crystal sulfide, gold nugget, tritium, any of the rocks. Your damaged technology components can become rusted metal, pure ferrite, magnetized ferrite, silver, gold, platinum. Your copper, cadmium, emerald, indium, and chromatic metal. Whereas your organic matter will become carbon, condensed carbon, sotophosphate, mortite, faecium, or any of the junk materials listed here, the slime ones basically. You can get these from buried caches, which you'll see when you use your scanner, or your visor I should say, your analysis visor on planets. You'll see buried cache, which could give you the discovery data that we talked about, the flora, fauna or mineral. It could give you black market upgrades, that's the X-class ones that I'm talking about. It could give you a multi-tool upgrade unit, or it could give you one of these damaged technology components, which will break down into any of these. If you see on your analysis visor buried minerals, well, that will give you either glowing mineral or organic matter. Right, so there's the organic matter stuff and the glowing mineral stuff. If you see subterranean organics, it's essentially this again, but with the possibility of crops instead. Yeah, your suspicious packets can open up your goods ones to be any of this stuff, your technology ones to be any of these X-class upgrades, and your weaponry to be any of these X-class upgrades. So it's all quite useful. You can buy those suspicious packets, by the way, from the space station scrap dealer, or you might find them. Yeah, so lava hurts if you stand on it from the volcanoes. There are organic shelters that do work as cover in a storm. And I think that's about all I've got to talk about that's listed on my group here, except that there are some crazy animals in the game now. There's a picture of a buried mineral formation that gives you the glowing mineral. Subterranean organic structure, that's what I was talking about, give you the crops or faecium or whatever by destroying it, and the buried cache. Yeah, check out oh, it stopped moving. Why has it stopped moving? Check out Zane's video. That's got a lot of interesting information about the Origins update, and he's always very helpful. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be making more that are, in-game videos, and I hope to see you in them. Bye.